Welcome to Crime Time News and Entertainment with a Buzz. The first thing that is popping in the news is an update about a man that escaped from the courthouse, the gun court, downtown Kingston. His name is Anthony Williams, known on the street as Pops. When that incident occurred, his lawyer came out and she made a statement and she was encouraging him to turn himself into the police because the situation might even get from bad to worse. Now, like I said, that man was sentenced in 2022 to 12 years and 14 years. On the day that he escaped, jumped from the courthouse, he was supposed to be sentenced to 18 years. As a matter of fact, he was sentenced to 18 years, even though he was deliberately missing. His lawyer came out and she made a statement, and people, this is my disclaimer, this is not his lawyer. I was just thinking to myself, what could have led, what was the motive in this man trying to take away himself? So I thought to myself, what would be the conversation between his lawyer and himself? And people, this is a generated conversation that his lawyer might have had with him. It is not 100% proof. So people, like me say, me and me gonna know, it is all in entertainment and humor. Take a listen, take a look, and then I'll give my piece.
Good afternoon. I am Lisa Broskensky, lawyer for client Anthony Williams, escaped convict. I was taken aback by the incidents or unfolding at the court the other day. Would not say that I am surprised because my clients had a whole bunch of concerns and he was acting like a little bitch, to tell you the truth. The concerns that he had is the fact that he is presently 22. He has 12 years and 14 years from a previous case, and he was now facing an additional 18 plus years. So by the time he got out, he would have been about 50 to 60-year-old. He was wondering if his little Teely was still going to be working. To that, I reassured him there are blue pills, Viagra, and there's a place called Backroad. Our next concern that he had is that the food there at the institution is not as tasty and scrumptious like the food on the streets. To that I told him, be positive. Just think that you're at one of your favorite restaurants. If that does not work, you could get some salt or some sorts of seasoning. Always remember, things are not as bad as it seems. One of the major concerns that he told me is that he was worried if his wife, his girlfriend, his mates are going to be okay. To that, I reassured him, listen, there are many, many horny men out there that are willing to take your place. Trust me, they will be okay. He also told me that, and this is client's lawyer privilege, that he had a whole bunch of money from the proceeds of crime in which he had hidden under some sorts of foul cub in some sorts of hole in the garrison. And based on the amount of rain that has been falling lately, he thought that by the time he got home, it would have been washed away. To that, I reassured him, listen, there are many persons out there needed in the garrison. It is going to be a blessing in disguise. Our next concern that my client said he had is the fact that it is very hot in the institution. And I told him, why not make a couple of paper fans, your cellmate on yourself, you fan him and he fan you. You have a symbiotic relationship in the cell in which both of you are benefiting, no sorts of homo. He had also mentioned that he had aspirations of one day playing for the Reggae Boys, and I told him, with the amount of time that you have, 3 to 4 decades, if you practice on a daily basis, you should be one of the best football stars in the whole wide world. He also mentioned that he had aspirations of being some sort of dancehall star like Vybz Kartel. He wanted to be the king of dancehall, and I told him again, with the amount of time that you have on your head, if you practice daily, write a verse per day or per hour, whatever is suiting to you, you will be one of the best artists out there in all genres. My recommendation to my client that escape is this. It is bad in the institution, but the situation is going to get even worse for you on the streets. Based on your reputation, Based on that, you're now a twice convicted felon, 12 years, 14 years, 18 years plus. These people are going to want you very badly.
So people, this is my disclaimer before I end. This is not his actual lawyer. This was not a conversation that was had between the lawyer and clients. This is a generated conversation that might have happened, a possible that took place. Now people, here is the facts about what took place on that specific day. Not to say I know what the motive was, but based on the information that I am getting, it is said that when these criminals, suspect, go in front of the court or go in front of the judge, they cannot be in any sorts of handcuff or any sorts of shackled. They have to talk to the judge as if they are talking to God. However, I am sure that based on just this one instance in which it is said that this man is some sort of Don from Almond Town, I am sure that the court and the system, the penal system, is going to amend or adjust its protocol and procedures. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is based on a very disturbing video that was making its round on social media less than a week ago or so, in which a lady that is deemed to be an officer of the JCF was seen in a video pointing her gun. As a matter of fact, juking off the person's face with her gun. She then walked away and told him that, listen, she will kill him. Persons were saying that this lady has to be some sorts of popo. It is conflicting whether she works with the JCF or whether she works with the Transport Authority. Most persons said that her name is Miss Vidal, I think the name that was mentioned. Now persons are wondering and pondering how it is that we have not seen or heard anything from the JCF after such a very disturbing video. Well, people, I tried to get in contact with the JCF, the upper hierarchy. However, I was not very successful. So what I did is a reenactment of what could have happened. The response of this lady, if she was telling the truth about the situation and what the JCF upper hierarchy would have said if they were interviewed by me. Disclaimer once again, this is a generated of what could possibly happen. Take a listen, take a look to exactly what this lady has to say if she was telling the truth.
So just imagine now, me pull up behind one minivan, me a rush to go to work. So I told the boy them in the minivan and make them know, say, yo, come out of the way. A police, you know, say a police vehicle, you know, say a police, you know my face. One of the boys jump out of the vehicle, look like him the conductor, and run up in my face, a toot off himself. So me I say, a that a go on. So me jump out of my vehicle now, wheel and pop off my tool, and push na the boy face, shoot na the boy face, and say, listen, make sure say you know yourself now. When you say bad police, you know how to act. The boy come like a dead him one day. Him lucky after me shoot me gun down him face couple of times. Him lucky say me never kill him.
So people, like I said, this is her if she was telling the truth, again, generated. Not her actual voice, not her actually saying what you heard. It is all in humor. We also wonder what would happen if she was telling a lie, what it would sound like. And people, take a listen, take a look. Again, computer generated. And then I'll give my piece.
So I was on my way to work on the day of questioning when I pulled up behind a minivan. The person was not moving, he was blocking the road, so I decided to toot my horn just to let you know that persons are there and he is blocking the road. When I noticed a young man jump from the vehicle, a minivan that is, and advanced towards me with all sorts of expletives. So I came out of the vehicle and I identified myself as a police officer, but he did not stop. As a matter of fact, there were other young men that were also advancing towards me, so I was in fear of my life. So I pulled my licensed firearm and put it in a defensive posture. However, they were still advancing towards me. As a matter of fact, the young man in question that you saw in the video is like him want buck my hand with the gun in it. So me I try to remove my hand, so therefore the gun don't go off, but he just keep insisting. So then I just walked off and went back to my vehicle just to make sure that nothing happened that was out of place. I was just simply doing my job.
So people, like I've always said, there are always 2 to 3 sides to every story. You heard the lady, if that was her and she was telling the truth, and then you heard if she was lying, or if she was telling what happened or what did not happen. I want you to also take a listen, take a look to what would have happened if I had actually got in contact with somebody from the JCF upper hierarchy, what they would have said. Take a listen, take a look, and then I'll give my piece.
This is Sergeant Bucky Marshall representing the JCF. I have seen that video in question that has been circulating all over social media. And the investigators on our team is doing a thorough investigation. Because if you know anything about the JCF, we have a stellar record when it comes to human rights, not violating their rights. We are not the type of organization that is out there puffing up people, clocking people on a regular basis. And I know that you have seen the videos that are out there all over social media, and that is not a proper representation of what the JCF stands for. So at this moment, our team is investigating this thoroughly, and any sorts of violation that is being to be not following the protocols of the JCF. That person in question will be reprimanded. I want to reassure the public out there that we are doing everything within our power. And because of legal repercussion, we cannot just force the case. So I want the public to be very patient with us while we solve the situation and make Jamaica a better place. Amen. As it was in the beginning and as it was in the end.
Now, people, this is my disclaimer once again for all of you knuckleheads that like to nitpick and like to criticize. This is generated. These are not the actual officers, the actual person from the JCF. It is all in humor, all for entertainment purposes. I told you that there's always 3 sides to every story. You heard from the lady, the truth and the lie. You heard from the JCF, supposedly. So now, people, here's the thing. We know that when it comes to these poor officers, they're always out here acting rogue, and this was a perfect example. And we know that when it comes to the JCF, they will always back their officers, even when they are DEAD wrong, DEAD being the operative word. Is this going to be the case? Because persons are definitely concerned how it is. How comes like that JPS commercial, something like this happened, and the JCF have not responded? Well, people, you and I know when it comes to the JCF, they do not have any sorts of stellar record when it comes to human rights violation or lack thereof. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.